Hello, and welcome to another episode of A Trini in Atlanta. Before I get started today, I would like to correct something. On Sunday, when I did my daughter's birthday menu, I told you that it was the golden ray. It wasn't. It was Kerrygold butter and roasted garlic. I made a mistake. I got confused so that it's Kerrygold butter, not red butter, Kerrygold butter. So I just wanted to set that straight. I'm going to use some of that today, so I have it out. Today's menu is, we have some steaks here, we have some broccolini, and we have some sweet potatoes. So we're going to season up the steak, we're going to saute the broccolini, we're going to microwave the potatoes. And to the potatoes, I'm going to add some brown sugar, a little, and some cinnamon, and we're going to make a meal with this. So this steak this is a T-bone, and these are lamb. These are lamb because sometimes people don't eat beef. Some people don't eat lamb. So I'm just trying to make two different meats. I personally like them all. So let's start seasoning here. As usual, just a slight amount of slap your mama just for the flavor. Nothing too much. You don't want too much of anything on the steak. And I'll tell you something. In this slap your mama, there is salt, red pepper, black pepper, and garlic. That is what this is made of. Hence the spiciness of it. So I'm going to do some garlic. And I'm going to do some paprika. So just a little paprika. I'm going to season up this really good. Let's get it in there, season it up, and then I'm going to turn it over and do it again. And do that other side. What is the gloves? You have the gloves? Did you move the gloves? Okay, I'm using the gloves. That's why I have it here. So I'm going to do it again the other side. So I'm going to put some of the black pepper. And I'm going to put some of the garlic powder. Oops, a little too much, but that's okay. I'll put it in the other piece. A little bit of the paprika. And a little bit of the slap your mama. I wouldn't put any salt because slap your mama will take care of that for me. And that's it. Take some of the black pepper from the ones that fell here and work that in. Now I'll tell you something. You could leave steaks to season and marinate overnight, or you could do it immediately. I personally like to take my meat out of the refrigerator, my steak out of the refrigerator, and let it get up to room temperature, and then season it, because I like a dry steak. I do not like to eat the seasoning, to taste the garlic, the black pepper and thing in my steak. I like to taste the meat. So that is why I usually season my steak and cook it almost immediately. So I'm going to let that sit for 2 minutes there while I take this sweet potato and I'm going to put some slits in it all over. Be careful when you're doing this, because if the knife slip, it will give you a good cut. So just be careful. So I'm going to do this with these two potatoes because I'm going to stick these into the microwave, and I'm going to stick it on the baked potato settings. And if you don't have a baked potato settings, I would say give it about 5 minutes and then check it. But my oven have a baked potato setting, so I am going to do that and let that start. I'll get back to that. I'm going to turn this oven, the fire light, and I have to turn it higher and start. Now I need the same fire because the broccolini, I don't want it yet. I'll wait until last minute to cook that. I'm going to get the steak because I need the steak sitting for a little minute before we eat. So on this pot, I am going to add a little olive oil. Just a little, not because I will add some butter to that too. So I'm adding some oil to that. And I am going to add some of this butter that I have here. Then I'm going to add some of the garlic that I have over here. So let's move this until, put it in here for now. Let's get the, as usual, every time I use this, I have to take, please be careful if you are using a mandolin because it could be deadly, could be dangerous. I'm going to make some garlic chips with this. And that is for both the broccolini and for the steaks. So just take your time, cut a few. I'll get back to that. I'll need a few more for the broccolini. This would be for the steaks. So I just thought today would be a good day for us to do something a little bit different. And I have been craving a good steak. So this is hot. I am going to put the steaks in there now because this pot is screaming hot already. I'm going to put the steaks there. And I'm trying to put it like this so it will get the grill marks. And let that cook. I'm thinking maybe the smaller ones, I can cook it for about 3 or 4 minutes on each side. And then the bigger ones about 7 or 8 minutes on each side. But I don't know yet. I'll have to see how it goes. While that is cooking, I'll let it cook on one side first before I turn it over and cook it on the other side. So while that is cooking, I'm going to do a little more of the garlic chips. I just want to thank everybody for all their subscribing. It's been such an amazing journey, for all the likes, the share, for all the comments, for just all the love that everybody has been showing me. I really, really appreciate you, and I know that I couldn't do this without you, and I wanted to do this so we could continue going far. So the grill marks is coming in. I'll turn it over again. Right, there you go. I'm going to leave this T-bone to continue cooking. This is the lamb, but I'm going to leave the T-bone to continue cooking and creating the char before I move it out. I don't want to move it out right yet, and let that continue cooking. I think this will be enough garlic and I'm going to add some thyme to this with the garlic and with the butter. So I'm going to add a little of this one of the Kerrygold and some of this one of the garlic and infused butter that I made myself. Okay, so leave that there for now. And then with this, I'm going to add some of that garlic. And I'm going to add some of this thyme. Okay? So, yep. I like my steak medium. My husband likes his steak a little more cooked than mine. So I'll find us a happy medium. Both of us will enjoy this steak. So you see, it's not a difficult thing to do. You just let this garlic infuse with that, and then you will throw that all over and let the thyme. I had a tree of rosemary, but this year we had last year we had one of the coldest winters that Georgia had ever had, at least since I have been here. and everything died. So my big, beautiful rosemary tree died. So my husband replanted one, but we have to wait until, I don't know how long it will come back. So you have to wait for a while. And that will, so in the meantime, I'm buying these thymes. So I decided to buy the thyme because usually I have rosemary in my steaks, and let that continue cooking. Okay. So use a smaller spoon if you can, if you want, and that'll work too. But I use a bigger one because it burns my hands, and I don't like it. So I have talked my sister-in-law, who also is one of the doubles maker by Tasha, to come in on our next adventure and make some doubles with us, and maybe some aloo pies. So I have asked her to come and make some with us sometime later on this week. And so you can look forward to that. And at the end of this week, Sunday, I am going to an event, and for part of the event, a few minutes maybe, I'll take you all along. It's at the Four Seasons in Atlanta, and it's a charity event that this guy, Michael Thomas, he does every year. And it's always a sold-out event for him because he does a really good job of getting this event together. So we are going to show our support, and for the best part, I'm going to take you down so you can see the women and the fashions and the food and a little bit of fun online. So we don't only have to cook in the kitchen, we could do other stuff as well. So, okay, this looks really good. I'm going to turn this again for a little second because the steak is kind of thick. So I want to turn it for a little second. But for me, these are done. These pieces of lamb is done. So I'm going to take these out. And I'm going to let the steak continue cooking just a little smidgen again. Put this over here for a minute. I don't want the butter to burn too much, so that's why I keep moving it around so that it wouldn't. And I'm going to use the butter as a glaze over the steak. So this is done, and I'm going to take this out, and I'm going to let this sit for a little minute right here, and I'm going to just gently put these on top of it so we can eat it with the steaks later on. Now you don't have to eat the sauce, but the sauce can coat it and give it a nice charred taste later on. So this, for now, we'll leave this right here, and we're going to put the broccolini up. Let's just take a look at this. See how this is, this is boiling nice, cooking nicely. I'm going to turn it back on, set it back on baked potatoes, and let it continue cooking right there. Okay, so this is ready. This is just like, it doesn't take long. A little bit of olive oil, a little bit of avocado oil, a little bit of the garlic. I don't want the pot to get too hot before I put the garlic because I don't want the garlic to burn. So that is why I put it there on a colder pot, because the garlic could burn easily, and then that wouldn't taste as good. Get some of this butter, this garlic butter, a little bit of it, not a whole bunch. And I'm going to take one of these pepper flakes because I didn't realize I was out. And that's enough. I don't want to put any more pepper than I have to. Because when I told you last time that the pepper wasn't hot, I lied. It was hot to me. So, okay. So this is awesome looking here. I just continue cooking for a little bit. This is just some of the roasted garlic that is brown there that I had done earlier in the butter. And I'm going to just put this like this. And this is just going to saute here for a few minutes. Now, an easier way to cook this would be to put it, turn on the fire a little bit, to put it in some water and steam it or scald it for a little minute and finish the cooking with some cold water and then saute it. And that would be really good too. But honestly, man, that is just a lot of work for something as easy as broccolini. And this always tastes good with steaks. This is something like the asparagus, a little more sharp taste. And I'm going to use some of the chicken stock. So back up the fire so it should burn out. And then let that maybe half cup, quarter cup, half cup it looks like, of the chicken stock. And let that cook right here. So while that is cooking, the steaks are resting there. And this, I'm going to add some Himalayan pink salt. As usual, I like to throw it in my hands. And that way I could regulate how much I'm putting in it. And then I'm going to do some black pepper. Now you could use your freshly ground. I have it here too, but sometimes I forget. So we're going to use this and I'm done. And let it cook out here. By the time the chicken stock, the broth is done, this will be done and ready to be served alongside the steak. So while that is doing, let me check. The sweet potatoes are totally finished. Let me show you what I mean. I'm going to take this knife and I'm going to cut it down the middle like this. That's that. See, all of that is done. Just let it okay, that is awesome. And I'm going to put some butter on this. I don't want to season butter. I'm going to use just a Kerrygold, some pure Kerrygold butter, just a little bit on that. Put it all over for the flavor. I don't want to double dip the butter because I don't want it to spoil on me. And that will happen if you put a dirty spoon into your jar of butter. So I'm just going to put some of that here and let it good there. That's beautiful. And then this is done. And then I'm going to add some of the brown sugar right here into this. So just some brown sugar right here into this, like so, and some cinnamon. And that is done. Now you could add salt if you wanted to that, but I am not going to add any salt to mine because everything else that I am cooking here have some salt, so I'm not going to do any additional flavoring. This, okay, the brown sugar is melting. You can smell the cinnamon. And already the potato itself would be kind of sweetish. This is the American sweet potato that we use for Thanksgiving and stuff. And I personally like it. I love the one from my country. Okay, let me see this. I'm hearing it frying down. And I'll taste that and see how that goes. Turn down that for a minute so I can taste that. Oh, it's so good. Oh, it's so good. Oh. Put the chips there. Have a little spice from the pepper flakes. And dinner is done. So we'll plate it up a little and I can show you how it's done. So we'll do one of the sweet potato because I am definitely going to have all of that. I am going to do one piece of this lamb. I'm going to put this aside and a couple pieces of the broccolini right here. I'm going to take one of the steak knives and I'm going to cut a little piece of the steak out because I don't like about this, and you could see that it's cooked. And I'm going to show you on this side. I've plated that. I wouldn't put any more flavorings, pepper or nothing on this because I don't eat that. And I'm going to show you how it's done. We're going to start with the sweet potato. Oh my Lord, that is so good.
You always seem to impress it.
Oh my Lord, honey. That is amazing. And let's see the steak. See how that is cut in there? I wish you could be here.
Well, my dear,
This is so good.
you had a long day today. You spent most of it with me, doctor appointments, grocery shopping. You had a long day, and yet you still found time to put a delicious meal on a plate. So we're like 23 minutes into the video, and I think that's impressive. That's pretty impressive for such a high-end meal.
Well, lamb is amazing.
So do you think you are also an expert on quick meals?
Mostly I am.
And judging from your reaction, you are a fan of your own food as well.
I'm using nothing. I like to eat. And when I come home from work, maybe from task or doing errands or anything, I don't want to spend the rest of the evening doing it. Even though I don't mind, I will do it because I love to do it. But sometimes I just want something quick and easy and I'm ready.
Well, you made a delicious steak look so easy where anyone can do it. You don't need a grill for the outside. You didn't have to marinate it overnight. The potatoes were done in the microwave.
I'll have some more.
Yeah. So you made that look pretty easy. Pretty easy.
So, give me 1 minute. I'm totally done cooking. So I'm going to put this aside until I'm ready to eat. And I'm going to show you all something. Hi. Say hi, baby Kai. This is baby Kai. Say hi, baby Kai.
As you see, baby Kai loves steak.
Yes. Want to see that? Baby Kai, give mommy a kiss. Give me a kiss. Baby Kai can give kisses. Go. Next time I'll show you baby Tommy. Thank you all for joining me on this magical evening. Thank you for having me in your house. Thank you for all the lovely things that everybody have said. Big hello to my sisters, Jennifer, Brenda, and Dira Pearl, and their husbands who have always been there for me. A big shout out to my staff, and I thank you very much. Until the next video. Bye.